Hi, it's Dwyer, GamblersAdvisory.com, here with some thoughts about this weekend's fight at 154 between Vanis Martirosyan and Saul Roman. Now, before I go further, just remember the opinion you should follow should be your own. Just consider this video to be a second opinion from a complete stranger online. I don't believe this is a fight you can bet on. Not every fight is a betting opportunity. This video is really more for boxing fans than gamblers. Vanis Martirosyan is a minus 1400 favorite. I think those odds are too long to bet on anyone. Um, but I will say this: I expect this fight to be a showcase for Vanis Martirosyan. I think this guy is the real deal. I think he's going to be a major force at 154. And the time to see fighters like this, uncrowned champions, as I like to call them, is before they fight for titles. He's fighting a very tough Saul Roman. I think the fight is going to highlight both of their talents, but I do expect Martirosyan to show us why he is a world class fighter. And let me just say, by world class, I like to project whether a guy can win a title or not. I believe this guy right now can beat Miguel Cotto at 154. I believe this guy right now can beat the other Emmanuel Stewart champion at 154, Cornelius Brundage. He is a major threat. Saul Canelo Alvarez is the other 154 champion. I'm not going to make an opinion on Martirosyan against Canelo yet, but let's just say that Martirosyan, in my opinion, is a championship level fighter. As I like to say, not all of the champs in boxing have belts. This guy certainly, in my opinion, has championship level potential. Now, let me point out that many viewers have told me of a video, and it's on my channel page right now. Just go to my favorites. You'll see it listed in the favorites. They've told me of a video of a recent sparring match that took place at Freddie Roach's Wildcard Gym between Julio Cesar Chavez Jr., who I believe is going to win the middleweight title this weekend, and Vanis Martirosyan. Everything you need to know about Martirosyan is in that video. Piston tight jab. Even though Chavez Jr. is 6 feet tall, Martirosyan is 6 feet tall. Even though Chavez Jr., in my opinion, has above average hand speed, Martirosyan's hand speed is just a bit faster. Martirosyan catches him with combinations to the head. Martirosyan, quite frankly, looks better than Chavez Jr. in the video. At least that seems to be the consensus online. Many online are wanting to know what I see in Chavez Jr. Since Martirosyan, a junior middle, seemed to get the better of him in sparring. Well, let me make a few points. First, it's sparring. Chavez Jr. may well have been trying to work on one particular part of his game, maybe his inside game. If you look at that sparring video, you'll see that he backs up Martirosyan multiple times, has Martirosyan up on the ropes. He may well have been trying to work on specific things while not focusing on whether the other guy landed some combinations and what have you. That's a distinct possibility. Let me also raise another one that I believe is accurate. I think Martirosyan, who doesn't have a belt right now, at 154 might simply be a better boxer than Chavez Jr.'s opponent this weekend, middleweight champion Sebastian Zibek. Um, all I can say is Martirosyan has a piston type jab. Martirosyan hits hard. Martirosyan has much more foot speed, and I mean much more foot speed than Sebastian Zibek. Now, it's true, Martirosyan does have a problem with volume. Critics of his will always point to the Qasim Uma fight that Martirosyan won. Martirosyan is unbeaten, But he had some tough moments in that fight, right? All I can say is that Saul Roman, his opponent this weekend, does not have that kind of volume, right? If you look at Saul Roman, in my opinion, even though Roman is 30 years old, you will see a fighter who is in decline. I know it sounds hard, but you know what? Gambling, you're going to have to make some hard decisions. My opinion is that Roman showed some defensive lapses in his last fight. I'm disturbed by the fact that he actually got dropped in the second round of his last fight. He did go on, he is heavy handed. He did go on to drop the guy at the end of that second round in one of the better rounds of boxing. But take a look at his fight against Michael Medina and look past Roman getting the knockout. I want you to just look at how Medina is able to land flush. And this is early in the fight, this is the second round. He's able to land flush with both of his hands on Roman, who seems to be a step slow. My point to you is Martirosyan is blessed with great hand speed. If Medina was able to land on Roman, I think Martirosyan is going to be able to take that to the next level with a distinct hand speed advantage. That's probably why Martirosyan is such an overwhelming favorite in this fight, right? I wouldn't bet on the fight because of the long odds. But let me just say, from a boxing fan perspective, I will be watching this fight, and I am expecting Martirosyan to once again prove to the world that he is one of the very best at 154. Let me also say this, too. In August of last year, Roman fought a guy, David Lopez. Now, people in boxing know that Lopez is a very tough customer. He also is not a champion. But at the same time, Lopez is an excellent fighter. Anytime you see a fighter fight another guy and get badly outpointed on the judges' scorecards, that's a red flag, especially when you're looking at recent fights of him and he seems to be getting hit easily. That's exactly the story right now with Saul Roman. In fact, in that Lopez fight, one judge had Lopez winning the fight by 10 rounds. This was a 12-round fight. Another judge had Lopez winning the fight by 9 rounds. Another judge had Lopez winning the fight by 6 rounds. In other words, what you have here is a fighter in decline who can get significantly outpointed on the judges' scorecards against a solid fighter, but certainly not a Manny Pacquiao or an Ali, right? Nonetheless, David Lopez dominated Saul Roman, and you also have a fighter who, in Saul Roman, got hit flush and dropped. Granted, it was a quick knockdown in his last fight, who also got hit with several flush punches apart from the knockdown punch in that fight. I think he's in over his head with Vanis Martirosyan. Martirosyan has holes, but not the kind that Saul Roman can exploit. I think Martirosyan takes this fight. I think folks need to look at this fight and imagine Martirosyan against Cotto, 6 feet against a guy significantly shorter. Hand speed that, in my opinion, more than matches Cotto's hand speed. Foot speed that would allow him to work from distance. And a jab that, quite frankly, is one of the best jabs in the division. I like Martirosyan here, and I think everyone needs to keep an eye out for him. By the way, I still like Chavez Jr. against Sebastian Spick. I think Jr. is a force at 160. Let me just say this too. Given the nature of the sparring session between Martirosyan and Chavez Jr., if Chavez Jr. does win his fight and does win the middleweight title, I'll be very surprised if Chavez Jr. gives Martirosyan a shot at his title anytime soon. I'll agree that the sparring session did open a few eyes on just how fast Martirosyan is in the ring, and the answer there is he has blinding speed. Excellent fighter, great up and comer. Quite frankly, I view him as an uncrowned champion. I hope you take a look at this fight this weekend. And win, lose, or draw, I hope you come back after the fight and give us your thoughts on Martirosyan as a prospect, as well as how he did in the fight. Thanks for watching.